Okay, these are the notes for 3.4, where we're talking about the 5-number summary and a box and whisker plot. This is a way for us to look at data without having to look at a histogram with every data point represented. This just gives us a basic idea of how the distribution or how the data is spread out around like the median. The 5-number summary includes the low value, so smallest value, Q1, the median, or Q2, Q3, and the high number. And we can use that to help us create what's called a box plot or a box and whisker plot. We have to put the minimum value in, the low value, Q1, the median, which is Q2, Q3, and the maximum or high value. As we plot those points, we can then construct this graph. You know, depending on the data that you have, maybe the median is really close to Q1. And so then you ended up with a box that's very big on the right side and very small on the left side. So depending on where that median is relative to our Q1 and Q3, you can learn something about the distribution of the data. And that's worth knowing. And it's easy to look at the box and whisker plot and make a quick analysis of the data. Where we always got to arrange the order from least to greatest, find Q2, then Q1 and Q3, draw a scale for the x-axis, right? We have to have some sort of a scale down here to work off of. And then we plot those points and create the box and whisker plot. This is going to be really simple. We're just going to go through the process with this set of data. First thing that we're going to need to do is put all this data in order. The lowest number, I believe, is 30, and then 39, 47, and then 48. It's not a bad idea to be crossing these out as you go, just to make sure that you're not missing a number or doubling a number up somewhere. 78, then 89. After 89 would be 138 and 164. And then 215 and 296. With this data in mind, we're going to go about starting with Q2. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 data values. So that means that the Q2 or the median will be right in the middle of these two. So I'm going to take 78 plus 89 divided by 2 to find the median, which will be 83.5. So that's my Q2 or my median. When I go to do the Q1, I just go to the center of the lower half, which would be 47. And for Q3, it's the center of the upper half, which will be 164. So there's my Q1 is 47. Q3 equals 164. And then, of course, our low number is 30, and our high number, or our max, is 296. That's my 5-number summary. That's how we would build that. To build the actual box and whisker plot, okay, I'm going to start with a nice x-axis to go off of. And it's going to be something I'm going to scale to fit the data. Now you might be tempted to be like, oh, I don't want to draw a bunch of marks, but get over it. You need to draw a bunch of marks. So I'm going to start with probably 0, and I might go 15, 30, 45, 60. So I'm counting the big marks. I'm going to count as 30s. And I'm going to go small mark, big mark would be 90. I'm just doing this so that it's easy to find all this data. 120. I don't want to draw and label every mark, but 150. Small mark, big mark, 180. And you could do this all with big marks. You could skip the small marks. It just makes the data a little harder to approximate the values of when you're plotting it. 240, 270, and 300. That covers all of my data. So now what I'm going to do, let's grab a different color here. I'm going to go and plot the low value, which would be here at 30. I'm going to do it up above the axis, up above the x-axis. Just going to float up here somewhere. The next value is supposed to be 47. Now this mark here would be between 30 and 60 would be 45. So I'm going to go just a little bit to the side of 45. The next data value would be my median, which is 83.5, so not quite to 90. I'll put a dot there. And then I need to be at 164. Well, there's 150. 165 would be right in the middle of that, so I'll go just shy of the middle. And the last one is 296, which is really close to the end. I've tried to make these as close to a straight line as I can. To draw the actual box and whisker plot, let's grab a different color here. The whiskers are the outer two components. So there's a whisker and there's a whisker. We're now going to build a box around these three values, Q1, the median, and Q3. And there's our box and whisker plot. Okay, that's what you need to be able to do today. Good luck, and we'll see you guys in class.